Hi Guido, Fox here. Welkom bij een nieuw book report. Today I want to discuss with you the Dhammapada. The Dhammapada are the original text from Gautam the Buddha or Buddha, how you want to name it. Just €5 €5 at the market, small market here in Amsterdam by the University of Amsterdam. And there is a small market with spirituality and Buddhistic texts. And it's always nice to have a good price for your books. So for €5, you have a bunch with knowledge again to save your life, to make your life a better life that you are able to enjoy your life to the fullest. First pages, page 9. And page 9, Buddha told us that Buddhism is a salvation teachings and salvation doctrine, and that is the same as Christianity. Christianity is also a salvation doctrine and salvation teachings, how you can solve your life also. When salvation is salvation is escape, salvation is escaping the matrix fragrances. And if you escape the matrix fragrances, you're able to experience heaven. So salvation means heaven on earth. You heard that a lot of times in Christianity, right? Salvation means that God is bringing heaven on earth. It's not that you have to live a good life and when you're dying you come in heaven. No, God brings heaven on earth in the here and now. So Christianity and the relationship with Buddhism is actually quite the same. It is a salvation doctrine. You are able to salvate, you are able to escape, you're able to heal, you are able to raise your consciousness higher when you're following the principles of Buddha. And he starts with waking you up. He is saying, yes, you are born as a person, you're born as a human being, but you are only half on the path. You're half adult. You're not fully adult yet. Even when you're 50, even when you're 60 or 70 or 30 or 20, you are not fully and human until you discover the principles of spirituality or Buddhism or Zen or meditation. Then you become a fully human potential being. At this moment, your mind consciousness is in a kind of conditioned world. You're blocked. A lot of times you're mentally blocked. You're raised in a kind of, you call it cocon. You're raised in a fixed box. They call it the prison of the matrix, or you're conditioned, and your mind consciousness is still Sumir is still nothing. Your mind is still in a kind of prison. And when you discover meditation, you become more free, you become more open, you become more and more real human being. You become from a half adult to a fully adult. So you're not yet there. That's what the Buddha was saying. You are not there. Without religion, without spirituality, you are still 50%. And Buddha, wants to wake you up, wants to wake you up to invest your time in personal development and raise your consciousness higher to escape the prison, the thinking prison, I say the thinking prison of the Matrix. Page 23. The mind comes first. And this is an interesting wisdom from Buddha. The rationality is coming first. How strange is that, right? We all talk about feelings, emotions, Zen, chill, chakras, openings, activation, ecstaticness. We all talk about that kind of principles, feelings. And we let the Western world behind us, the rational, stressful, mental burden, burnouts, bore-outs. We left that behind us. We were thinking that. And when you read Buddha, he say the mind comes first. The mind sends you the way. That's also in line with Nietzsche, with the philosopher Nietzsche. The mind is the first thing. The world is born through thinking. Without the mind, there were no highways. Without the mind, there were no beautiful paintings. Without the mind, there was no food production. Without the mind, there were no cars. Without the mind, maybe there were no written text, there were no books. So the mind is everything. So it's very interesting if you hear some mediocre coaches or teachers. I say, let your mind go, empty your mind, no mind. This, that about mind is bad, you think too much. No, embrace your mind. Your mind is part of your body. Your mind has to be working together with your body and with your soul. Your mind is very important. That's Nietzsche's willpower. You have to believe in enlightenment. You have to believe in spirituality. You have to believe that you're here with a purpose. You have to believe that you can change your body. You have to believe that if you want to become rich, you have to believe in it. If you have not believe, then it will not happening, right? That's the mind manifestation. So that's also in line with Buddha. He said the mind comes first, and my mind can send energy towards my 7 chakras. So mind first, mind chakra relationships, right? So mind spirituality. So that is very good that I read it also again. Okay, the mind is so much important to act in life and to reach the results you want to have, right? I want to find love. I'm open for love. I want to find a new girlfriend. I want to find a reliable partner. I want to find a wonderful new job. So the mind comes first to your actions. So you can create the world through your mind. Oh, that's a very important sentence by Gautam, the Buddha, who was escaping his position as emperor of the kingdom. He didn't like it. He didn't like that nasty job, that political job. He was okay. He was doing something else, more interesting, right, than ruling the country. He was escaping his kingdom from his father. Page 28. Um, don't become lazy. Work hard, relax hard. So, effort, work, very important attitudes in Buddhism. Work hard, relax hard, but not become lazy. Stay striving, structure, discipline, all male energies. A lot of times, spirituality is linked with a lot of female. Let go, relax, calm. No, there's also a male side, a masculine side in spirituality. I want to focus on that. True is discipline, order, structure, schedule. Do your task during the day and you feel more good. I feel more good if I hit the gym, I do a book report, I read something, I coach a person, and then I can relax a little bit. Clean my house, do my daily task, and when you are quite busy, and not becoming lazy, you are also better in your energy. And one thing I want to say about it, I don't want to become a priest, right, with my finger. Television, watching so much social media, you can scroll a little bit, it's okay, but hours and hours watching television or movies or Netflix is not bringing you somewhere. Too much hours. People are on television or playing video games or spending hours and hours with useless phone calls with friends or texting with friends. A lot of times that's senseless energy and it is not relaxing anymore. It is consuming, it's energizing, it is lower your energy. So be critical where you spend your time with. Page 42. Buddha escaped to the forest. He was done with the kingdom, with becoming an emperor. He was fed up with his harem. He had so many women. He had so many sexual abundance. He was done. He was okay. He was interesting in one thing, and that is enlightenment. How are you able to become enlightened? And the woods, he found the silence in the woods. The woods were enjoyable. The woods were wonderful. You come to peace, you are one with nature, and we are depressed in our society, so much depression, and what you have to do is long walks in forests. Long walks, not 1 hour, but 5, 6, 7 hours. Grab some food somewhere. Again in the forest. Bam, 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 bam. Walking, walking, walking. And at a certain moment, the moving your body, the bloodstream, at a certain moment, your mind is becoming more empty. More empty your mind, you become more relaxed. So the combination of being sportive and being enjoyable time in the forest. Go alone, by the way, alone in the forest. You can also cycle in the forest, but go in the forest will be profitable for your life. So embrace the forest. Book a hotel for yourself with a nice sauna and a nice swimming pool. Give yourself a nice present and go towards the woods and walking and walking and walking for a weekend, 2 3 days, and then you feel better than ever. Page 48, very interesting. Speak never with one nasty word. Don't shout, but also the using of your words are karmatic loaden. Be careful with which kind of words you choose in your life. If you say all the time, cancer did, cancer that, shouting bad, negative, loaded words, your life is backfiring you. You get negative energy too because you shout something out, and probably you get negative signals from your environment. So when I stepped into spirituality, and I don't want to be a brave guy or singing in the first row in a church and doing everything perfect. But if you're using bad words, the world is a mirror, the world is a reflector, and you feel also better if you talk in positive terms. I remember I was visiting in my beginning stage and other coach, a female person. I don't want to say her name, but there was sometimes to her seminars, but she was really sometimes say fuck and shit and in between her seminars, and I was really annoyed by it, right? Why you have to say fuck or shit or crazy, all this kind of small words in between made it for me so bad, low and karmatic. And she was talking even about karma and that kind of thing. So it was quite funny. I didn't said anything about it. I let it go and I left this seminar and I never see her again. But be careful if you're a coach or if you're a teacher, and every person actually, be aware what you're saying and how you say things. It's not only what you're saying, but also how you say things. Page 53 is night meditation. Yeah, very interesting. I talked with Julia about previous video about night meditation. Buddha did it too. Go for it. You wake up in the night, go to the toilet and sit on your chair and go into meditation, and probably you will feel the effects when you're waking up. More freshness, and you want to have your life. Page 58 is the reborner. So probably if you're fed up with the matrix, you're done with the matrix, you saw everything around you, you step into spirituality. So there is something higher than the matrix. Higher than the matrix is spirituality. Then you step into the world of spirituality, and it is very difficult to become a reborner, someone who have a rebirth in his body. So become a rebirther is a very unusual thing. Enlightenment is a strange factor, is a strange development. Is only a few in the world, maybe 6 to 8 or 10 people who are able to experience the ecstaticness of the chakras after years and years and years and years of meditation. Jesus was there, one of them. He was enlightened. He felt the inner awakenings, and he got a light field around him. Be aware day and night. Be centered day and night. And reject people who give you negative vibes or giving you negative energy. reject the evil. If you don't feel okay with someone, don't feel guilty, step away, go the other way around. So, very interesting, right? Also, Buddha said, not embrace everyone, not be careful everyone, not try to heal everyone because you get an helper syndrome, not hug everyone, not saying, oh, the world is so peaceful, lovable, everything hugging, everything smiling. No, choose your people in your life. Be selective. Be selective with who you go. And if you don't feel okay with someone, move out. If you don't feel okay in some groups of people, don't be afraid. Step out this group. Probably you get some shit over you, but it's your life. If you don't feel okay with the group or you don't feel okay with some persons, step out, move away. Totally, totally fine. I have to read something for you. Page 85. I select some text from you, and it's in Dutch, but I try to translate it in once in English. So, like a city with a border, what is protected inside and outside. So, when there were cities in the Middle Ages, there were cities and they were protected from the outside, right? With crocodiles, with water in the surroundings, with walls. So there was and then guards, right? So you can picture a little bit this Roman Empire cities, right? So protecting from the outside. So like a city protected on the outside, like inside and outside, right? So inside there are also guards and security, and like people who are able to have their social control within the Roman small cities, right? Like a city, you have to protect yourself, said Buddha. Be always aware. So be always aware to protect yourself. I talked with you. Keep away from evil. Keep away from people who are bring low energy vibes. So be aware all the time. Otherwise, you are able to go to hell. This sounds very, very radical, but even Buddha was talking about the hell, about the evil, about the darkness. So you have to protect yourself. If you're raising up your consciousness and you be with constantly people, you have a leakage. Your battery will be empty, especially if you're very sensitive and you're opening up your leakage energy towards people. And only people who deserve your energy you're able to give. Only people who deserve your energy, right? So, like a city, you have to protect the outward and you have to protect the inward, and that's your meditation. Like a city, the inward, the heart, you have to protect your heart, you have to do meditation, and you keep your gate closed for people who you don't feel good with. Page 106. You become imperturbable. You become living without any doubt. You know why you're here, you have no doubts, and you always are able to fall back on your inner city. Your holy inner city is your power. Your holy inner city is your power. And from there you live. And then you live without doubt. You can trust the inner city. You can trust the inner city, and you are able to trust your higher intuition, right? So trust your inner city is also trust your higher intuition. So you become imperturbable, you become very disciplined, striving, active if you're able to feel your inner city. Thank you for watching this book report, Dhammapada, the Buddhistic text. And I see you by the next video. Bye bye.